We are live. Happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome back to another tribute talk. There's not much news this week, but we were all talking a little bit before. We should probably dive into the Hunger Games being really, really weird right now with their social media.
Just the
What's
fact
going
that they're
on?
active,
They're
Yeah,
active, but are they? Question mark.
right? They're posting very randomly.
Yeah,
I was I
very
was telling
random.
AJ I was telling
Mhm.
AJ the other day when we hung out, I think that it was like I think they hired their social media person for a ballad and they're just kind of like testing the waters.
Oh, that's a good analysis.
Like it just like sticking their toe into the Hunger Games fandom and seeing like what sticks before they start doing ballad stuff. I don't know. I mean, it's
Well, they're going about it the wrong way, but
yeah, I mean, yeah, 100%. I mean, listen, it's better than like the stuff that they posted like when it was totally dead. I mean, there were some weird posts that they did back in the day that was like, what are you doing here?
like the first one, like what Hunger Games characters are Friends characters, like that.
Yes,
Post.
yes.
Uh,
So we'll see what happens with that. I am kind of hoping for a Super Bowl like teaser
Yes,
or like
that's what I've been
something.
saying.
I really do think that they might do something because I said it in the group chat, but like there multiple movie studios have announced like what trailers that they are releasing for the Super Bowl. And I think only two studios declined to comment on it. And one of them was Lionsgate. So
Lionsgate
like
with the no
Wait,
comment.
really?
yeah, so like
Mm.
no comment isn't a no. So
y'all are
like
optimistic.
See,
I
I'm calling it. I said this week, I said once I posted the whole weird Caesar Flickerman announcement, I was like, there's something coming. I sense it. And I was like, what's the thing that's coming up? It's the Super Bowl. And so I don't
Holly,
think we're gonna see any like cast or anything, but I think that they're gonna put together like the
a little
same
something.
teaser.
Holly, can I just point out something that I find hilarious? What was it
Uh-oh.
like a year ago that you're like, the ballad movie's just not going to happen? I've given up. It's not happening, you guys. It's fake.
Oh my god.
That was a different
Roll the
quote. I
tape.
don't know who said that.
Like, they're definitely going to drop something for the Super Bowl, guys. I feel it in my bones. They're doing it.
No, I truly do feel it, but like I listen, she has a supporter here. I totally feel like they're gonna drop something. Like
Yes. It's
like
just kind of
it makes
weird.
sense. It makes sense that they would do something. I mean, people don't know about this, and I think at least I hope that Lionsgate knows that people are very like, oh no, there's another Hunger Games movie. Like what? I
Yes,
I,
and
I
I
think that
think
it'll put it in their heads.
they'll use the Mockingjay
Okay.
logo. I think that's what they're gonna do, just to kind of get those fans in who are only like movie fans.
Well, I don't know about that, but
I think it's no, I only think it's gonna be the Mockingjay logo.
Like the animated teaser we already got
Yeah, that's what I
shown
think it's gonna be.
oh,
on
I
TV.
could
I
see
can
that.
see that. I'm still not
Hmm.
holding my breath, but
Guys,
I feel
come
like
on.
listen,
Hmm.
it's not because I don't want to believe. It's just I don't want to be hurt. Okay.
Would
I
they
remember
pay
I'm
that
already
much
I
money
can't be at the
though
Super
to
Bowl.
put like
I
I don't
think
know if they'd pay that much to put the old logo teaser for the Super
Not the
Bowl.
old logo.
no, that's
Not
why
the
I
old
think that
logo.
they're gonna do something
Not the
different.
old
No,
one.
no, no. The ballad logo.
Okay.
The
Like,
ballad
I think
logo.
that they're gonna do like the old, like they would do something with the ballad logo, or they would combine the ballad logo with something from the past. So then movie
Yeah, like
people.
how they would do like the logo transitions at the end
Yeah,
of the movie.
Hmm.
that's what I'm thinking.
And
Maybe
maybe
with
this one, like it
But
goes
it's
from
like
fire and it
before.
freezes over and then it turns into the ballad. This is the thing, guys. I always have way too many ideas of what would be so amazing. And I am always let down by my own ideas because they never happen. So
no, same. I mean,
Well,
if
I'm gonna
I'm
have
very
hope.
jaded right now.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Lauren in the comments. Like, I think we're probably going to get something before the John Wick movie. So would they
yeah,
do the same? And I think that'll be a teaser. So maybe they're just reshuffling their social media and like kind of testing things out like a month before the teaser's going to come out before that movie.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
I
That's
just
all
want
I'm
to see
gonna say.
something. I was like literally thinking today. I was like, I still cannot believe that this movie is happening, and I still cannot imagine what it's going to look like. Like it's such a big movie. Like I guess in scope with like sets and everything like that, and yet we haven't really seen that much, even with like the set photos and all of that. Like I'm just curious to see how it'll all come together and like what they filmed like in like studios and stuff like that. Like it just seems very secretive, like
Yeah,
more so than
we
the other
haven't seen anything
movies.
that's like ready. We saw that first
Yeah.
look image, which is like, okay, it doesn't have any like coloring on it or anything. So that was just kind of a thrown
Everybody
out there
relax.
quick thing.
It's gonna be fine.
And then we've
I'm
seen
s-
TikToks, which is like BTS, but we haven't really seen like a finished product of any image or video.
No, I mean, it was like that first look photo. Come to think of it, is just like very bizarre that they released that. I don't understand why they did in hindsight. Like
So weird.
they should, like they would have done better not releasing it because they think it had such a negative, like I don't want to say backlash, but negative feelings towards it. People did not respond to it very well. I would say, like the general public, and us, but.
You guys. Speak for yourself.
Yeah. Like it's a beautiful picture, but like it's not. It is very Fault in Our Stars-esque, and it's not.
I'm with you,
what,
Ronnie.
It's
Fault in Our
not what the
Stars.
movie is about. It's not what the movie is about. Like it's so
Uh,
much deeper than that.
I don't know. I made a post defending it. Tom Blythe liked the post. I'm good. Like,
I mean, the hair, yes. I was that the one with the
No, not
hair.
e-
Or no.
it wasn't even just about the hair. It was mainly about addressing what the Francis Lawrence comment about the love story comment. And I made this
Oh.
whole PowerPoint presentation about it. And then Tom liked the post. So
No, I agree with that. No, but like I'm just saying for like first, like people that haven't read the book,
what's their
that
problem? No, I'm kidding.
yeah,
Sorry.
it is no, totally. No, I agree with that a little bit, but people that haven't read the book, like they just see that image and they're like, okay, cool. Like, what's this? Like, this is stupid. It just looks like a teen romance movie. I don't know. I just want something very like big and epic. I was rewatching some of the trailers for the movies the other day, and I'm very excited to see what this trailer is going to look like.
Mm. Me too.
I just want something. Just give me anything. I mean, I hope that they do like.
Please.
I don't think that they're gonna do the logo reveal again. I think they're gonna do something a little bit shorter because
Yeah,
Super Bowl
something
ad
shorter.
time is expensive. So but like I'm hoping, I don't know if there's just me like wishful thinking, but I'm hoping that they do like something with like actual footage. I just want something with actual footage, like even if it's just something small, like
Give
a
us
30
Viola,
second spot.
damn it.
Yeah, I want Viola Davis in her weird outfit.
I'm just
If they do
so
something with
hopeful.
footage, do you think they're gonna do something for the Super Bowl and then do a different thing before John Wick, or they're gonna just show that same thing?
No, they
Do
wouldn't show
something
the same
different.
thing. They would do something different. I think that they would specifically do, at least from like what I understand from Super Bowl spots, they would just do something different. Like,
Something brief.
yeah, it's something very quick because Super Bowl ad space is very, very, very ungodly expensive.
See, I just think it's too early. But
I don't think
I-
it's early. No.
I
I'm
do.
sorry,
That's where
I'm
I'm
sorry.
torn. No, that's where I'm
I'm
torn. I
just
think it's
so set
early,
on
but it's
this.
not. I think it's early, but it's also not early. Like,
I will happily be wrong.
Yeah.
No way I'd buy ad space for one movie that may or may not even go off in November.
listen,
But it's a Hunger
There-
Games movie. It's not like it's just like not a
But
popular
It's their
franchise.
I think if it
tentpole.
was part of the original franchise, like I think it's a possibility, but I just can't see them doing it for a one
They're
single.
trying to
movie.
revamp it.
and also like
They're
Bad
doing
job.
horrible.
listen, DC Warner
Yeah.
Brothers DC Warner Brothers have like a 2-minute spot for the new Flash movie with Ezra Miller, who's problematic as
No,
heck.
you're kidding.
Yeah. I'm not. No, they're debuting it at the Super Bowl. I'm not
Oh my
kidding. They're
God.
So like if they can do that, then Lionsgate can release like a 30-second thing for the Super Bowl for ballot.
Wait, this is so off topic, but have y'all seen that meme where it's like, like when there's an earthquake and you can mark yourself safe on Facebook and it's like that little flag? I saw a meme that was like marked safe from Ezra Miller today.
Oh my God.
No, they are a little bit problematic. They're getting help, thank goodness. But
They are
like
getting
I said,
help, but
if
hold on.
if DC can release a trailer with Ezra Miller front and center, a 2-minute spot, that probably cost them like $100 million. I don't know how much it is, but it's probably something around that point. Like Lionsgate can do like a 30-second thing to like make people interested for Ballad.
This is the thing. Y'all know me. I'm usually optimism number one. Like I love the red outfits. I love the first look. Like trooper here, okay? But I am with Emily on this in the sense that I do feel like it is a tad bit early. If the Super Bowl were happening in a month from now as opposed to this weekend, I might be more inclined to believe it. But I'm just and also, like Emily said, I'm also, I will happily be wrong if needed. And hopefully I am wrong. But I'm just not just not there, y'all.
We'll just have to see. I guess there's no use really talking about it until next week.
Yes,
we
might
won't know.
not.
We can just guess and guess and guess until like we die, but like we don't know until it happens.
What time is the Super Bowl?
Oh God, I don't know. I'm gonna be watching it though.
It's at
I'm going
like
to
4.
It's usually around 6:30, I think, Eastern time.
like Eastern time. Yeah.
Eastern.
Well, I think that's when the coverage starts. I don't think it really. I don't know when. I don't.
I
know.
think kickoff is like 7:30.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, we might
Eastern
have to have an
time.
emergency tribute talk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if they do release something,
If something
I would
comes out.
gladly- I'm gonna be at a Super Bowl party, but I will definitely like go into a bathroom and like do some. I wish like I don't really care
Iconic.
that much about the Super Bowl, but like I would gladly walk out and go to the bathroom to talk about the trailer if it happens.
Same. I mean, like the fact that HBO is moving the Last of Us episode to tomorrow instead of Sunday,
Yes,
which I'm so excited about, but also
me too.
it like, frees up the like Sunday, and I, for the first time in my life, will probably be paying attention to the Super Bowl actually. And yeah, if we do get a Ballad anything, then that'll be fantastic.
And also Disney's dropping the Little Mermaid trailer, which looks really good.
Wait,
So
really?
Yeah.
they're dropping it
are?
for the Super Bowl. Yeah, they are. I'm very excited.
And I'm gonna be working. Oh my god.
It'll be posted online. It'll be posted online. It's
still,
fine.
the Ballad stuff comes out and I'm working.
Okay, no, it's just yeah. I'm sorry.
Maybe I will watch the Super Bowl.
Holly.
No,
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say Holly, I was working at a convention and then at an aquarium randomly when we got the Tom casting, and that was crazy. But ultimately, I still found out about it like as it happened. You know what I mean? Plus, you have all of us to like basically blow up your phone.
Yeah. Okay, so somebody call me. Like if a trailer drops, somebody call
Okay.
me.
100%.
AJ, call me.
I got you.
Okay.
Post notifications aren't enough. Get yourself a small army of fans to personally call you.
If a teaser comes out, I don't even want to watch it. I want to like live react or something.
Same.
Oh,
Oh my god.
if they announce it, even like for the trailer, I want to do like a live reaction. I think.
Yeah.
Can we
Holly,
all
you're
do
not
like?
allowed to watch that. We gotta post that on YouTube.
Hey,
Could we-
no, not gonna happen.
Could we all do like a live react? Like, I'm not saying for like the Super Bowl trailer, but like the first official trailer.
The
Which
trailer.
I'm
If
sure
y'all
that
are
we'll know.
available, we're gonna jump on.
Yeah.
We're gonna live
I
react.
I would love to do live react to that.
Yes.
I mean, I will start crying, but
I will cry. I will scream. What is it? Headphone users beware.
yes, literally. So that's all the Ballad news this week.
Yeah, that's really all we have. is
No
just
news.
God, no.
20 minutes of us talking about no news.
Leave it to us.
I
to
mean,
do that.
other than the Hunger Games account being active, which is a little bit sus. I mean, something's gonna happen.
With that crunchy profile picture. Anyway.
Oh, that is so bad. AJ and I talked about that for like 10 minutes about the
I don't
crunchy profile
understand,
picture.
And they were posting on their stories like who has the best character introduction, and those pictures were
my God.
HD. Like
Yeah, they were quality.
What?
Which also that whole thing was weird. And I said, hey Mitch, and I did not see hey Mitch in there. So I feel personally attacked.
I laughed at the fact that somebody said Buttercup and then they didn't do the first Buttercup.
Yes, no,
They
I thought the
said
same thing.
Mockingjay
I
Part 2.
thought-
No.
I thought literally the same
They're
thing.
like,
I
oh
was
no,
like,
it's a black and white cat. Do we post that? No, that's not real anymore.
that's not Buttercup's introduction. And
Not my buttercup.
and,
Hashtag.
I mean, that is the one change from the movies that I'm just like, okay, I'm fine with. But also, it's just like, it's very jarring. The Buttercup change. Buttercup Gate. So
Well-
back to Ballad.
So anyway,
Should we talk about chapters 3 and 4?
Oh yeah, great
Let's
chapters.
do it.
They're pretty good chapters. I feel like a lot happens. in
And
both
yet
of
we're
them.
still, I was noticing we're still not like up to like the disturbing stuff. I mean, it's
the
it get-
real disturbing stuff.
the real stuff, literally. Like it's so good though, and still very, very scary. Let's jump right in. Train station.
Woo.
Woo.
It's like my least favorite scene in the book.
No, I
feel
know.
like.
It's I understand that
It's so
completely.
cringe.
Same.
it's like I just get secondhand embarrassment, because like we've all been there where we're just like awkwardly standing around for waiting for someone or whatever, and then like you're just standing there, like the standing emoji,
Yes.
and then the part that also bothers me is just I think like the first time I was reading Ballad 2, and like this is where Lucy Gray gets introduced, and I was like, what is this character? What is going on?
She's
I
so
remember that.
weird. I'm gonna be
It's
honest.
so
I just
weird.
I'm not the biggest fan of Lucy Gray. I mean, she's
I don't like
she's
her.
cringe.
I
She's-
love her.
I like
And
her.
I love that
Really?
for you, Holly.
Yeah,
I
I
love her
because
so much. I just want
but
to protect
I
her.
don't know. She's fine. I think she gets a little bit better like in the later parts of the book, but this
I
first
agree.
is just for some reason for me it was just really hard to get through, and I was like, what direction is this book going in?
I think it's better for me now that I feel like I
Mhm.
more understand that she's just
A theater kid.
pretending, like, or
Yeah,
she's
she's just
like
a theater
acting.
kid.
She's just manipulating him the whole time. Is how I feel. So she's just putting on a front, which makes it feel, I don't know, better for me. But that's just like not her
Which-
real personality.
I mean, even though I don't like the character, to her credit, I mean, when I'm going through a very stressful, I mean, I'm an actor. When I go through like a stressful situation, if I'm having like a bad confrontation with a mean customer or something like that with like at work, I put on like a front like that. It's like kind of a defense mechanism.
Mhm.
And I can see that kind of what she's doing.
For
She's doing
sure.
something like that.
I cannot granted I haven't seen West Side Story, so I haven't actually seen Rachel
Oh,
actually
you have to
act.
watch. It's so
But I
good. It's so
can't-
good.
I maybe I cannot picture Rachel delivering any of these lines. Like I just
I
don't
can't
have
either.
it in my head. Just like I still can't see Josh as Sejanus. Like I know it's gonna happen, but I just can't. We're still not seeing it.
I can see Tom perfectly as
Yeah.
Snow though,
Same.
so that's what I'm clinging to.
No,
Yeah,
same.
I can see Rachel saying these lines. I can totally see it.
What?
Yeah,
I
I can see it.
It's not even just her. I think I just can't imagine anyone
True.
saying these lines
Saying
out
this,
loud.
yeah.
So
That's
that's like
fair.
a
No real
problem.
person
That's
talks.
very true.
Yeah.
And like as a Southerner, like I mean, I'm sure Chase can definitely tone like he knows how Southern slang is, and Taylor as well. It's I mean very natural to like us how we speak, but like I can't imagine Rachel getting that. I mean, she needs to have a Southern accent. Like I really hope that she has a Southern accent through this, because like it's not natural if she doesn't.
Picturing the lines with a Southern accent that makes it even harder.
No,
Does she need to have
no.
a Southern accent? I don't.
I think
see.
she does. I think she because she does talk in a Southern accent. Like it is. 100% Southern.
Like how Katniss was supposed to.
I mean, no,
But
it's
then, but,
it
but
is.
like she's
Listen,
not even
Katniss-
District 12.
Yeah, she's not from the district. We don't know what accent she has.
But like
Yeah,
just how Suzanne wrote her with like her clipped vowels and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree. When I read her
it's
lines like in the
Southern.
book, it sounds Southern to me.
Yeah. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
even her reaping song was like very Southern, very
And her
clipped.
style of
Yeah,
music.
that
Yeah.
the music, I can definitely see that. Santino did such a great job, but also the song parts always.
Did Santino do a great job? I mean,
Yes.
he did do a great job. The songs though, like still, I cannot get over
Not
those.
the
They're so
songs.
bad.
Rachel
The
sings
songs are
them.
so
They're
bad.
gonna be great.
He does this
I
like,
hope so.
fake passion when he's like, because he's like not singing and not talking. He does this like weird in between. So he's like,
Yes.
you can't
You
take
can't
this
take
away
my
from me."
past.
Like,
I kind of love it.
you know what it's giving? It's giving Katniss doing like recording her first propo and painting the
Yes.
book.
Yes.
How a revolution dies. Like it's the same amount of energy that he gives. And you know, he did great with the rest, but the songs needed some help.
It's like he's a singer. I don't understand why they wouldn't let him sing. I mean, he's such a good singer. I love him so much, but like, what the heck, dude? So anyway,
that's really
Snow
crying.
so Snow is waiting at the train station.
He got his rose.
Got his rose. Very important. Very, very important.
On brand. Classic.
He waits for a long time.
I want
And
like
then-
And nothing.
a SpongeBob several hours later titles.
Well,
to come up.
then, well, like this was the first time though. Like this part really disturbed me when I first read this. About the cattle car pulling in, because I was so used to like the tribute train. I didn't realize like how bad that the Capitol treated the tributes. That was my first like gasp moment, was when the cattle car pulled in. I was like, what? Like, what's going on here? And of course, like later on they go to the zoo or whatever, which we'll talk about, but it's shocking. Like, what the heck? Why would they put them in little cattle cars like that? It's also giving like,
They don't care.
I hate to bring this up, but like it's giving like Holocaust. Like it's so bad. It's so bad.
I mean, when you don't treat humans like humans, you treat them like animals. And
exactly.
how do we treat animals? We put them in transportation like this. So
Exactly.
yeah.
It was
I
just
think
very jarring. Oh, go ahead.
And I think this like it's interesting that this triggers a memory for him. Like with him waiting for his dad to come
Yes.
back from the station. It's like I don't know why Suzanne would have put that information in there other than to help give him like the character more backstory, but
It's I saw that as like kind of alluding to like World War II. Because that was kind of like waiting for your father and like husband or whatever to come home from war on the trains.
yeah, I can see maybe it's like the equivalent of war
Yeah.
being as dehumanizing as waiting for tributes to come on
Yeah.
the train, you know.
See, for me, I retroactively, definitely not as I was reading this for the first time, but retroactively reading through this the second time around, because Snow's dad is dead at this point in the timeline, he doesn't really have a presence. So the only way he can be in the story is through flashbacks and stuff, or like memories or whatever. And I feel like this particular moment doesn't necessarily set this up, but just gives him more presence for the massive reveal at the end.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Because like when I first read Ballad, I was like, okay, cool, we get a little, you know, Snow memory, awesome. And I was so forgettable like throughout the whole story because it doesn't, you know, impact anything really. And then once you've read it and you know why Snow's father is like particularly relevant, now I'm finding myself paying attention to every single time he's mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, even, and we'll see it also in these chapters, but like some of the lines that Highbottom says to Snow is very like, you know, like I read it differently now. I don't know.
No, it definitely makes a lot more sense. Like, why is she building this character up? Kind of like how what Suzanne did with Katniss's dad. It's like, why is this a character? But it's because he motivates a lot of her like moral compass, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's same for Snow and his dad in many ways. And you know, Snow and Katniss are always described as kind of being very similar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they both don't have a father.
Ooh.
Whoa. Anyway.
Yeah, they both lost their father to a tragedy of the Capitol's making.
Mm-hmm.
Which also, side note, Emily, you live in Colorado, right?
No, I do.
Oh, Arizona.
Oh, Arizona, damn.
Yeah, get with it.
Sorry. Who has been to Colorado during the summer?
Me,
Anybody?
Holly.
Holly. Oh my gosh, I'm so
Hi,
sorry.
who lives there?
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
How hot does it get during the summer though? Like
Like it can get up to 100 degrees, but it's just dry.
it was because like the capital, I guess, takes place in like Colorado. And he was talking about like the heat during like his waiting during the train station.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about it being summertime during the
Yeah, it's 2 days after the reaping, so I guess July 6th.
Yeah, that's when
is
it's
when he
the
went to-
hottest.
Plus, we have to
July.
assume that like global warming has affected
Yeah,
all of that, all the natural disasters that have taken place.
that's what I was
Mhm.
thinking.
Try 117, Corio.
Yeah, or try 100% humidity.
Yeah, try with humidity, not here.
Chase, I'm gonna be honest though, like it's so much more hot in New York, even though like the South is so much. I don't even know how to explain it. The heat is different here than it is in like the South. It's so
it's
much
humid.
worse. It's so
Actually,
bad.
You know, I agree with that, but I will say living in Savannah, that was probably the worst humid heat I've ever experienced so far. Because it's also like year round.
That's very true.
But yeah, it is pretty rough out here in New York in the summer. Anyway.
The Grandman's Roses, I guess. I don't even know what part we're at this point.
Throughout this, I was trying to find a spot where maybe Corio felt bad for the tributes at all.
No.
The only thing I could find was him
Mm-mm.
saying a wave of pity and revulsion swept through him. They really were creatures out of another world, a hopeless, brutish world. And that's the most
It's not great.
empathy he ever has, which is none.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest, when I first like started out reading this book, I didn't realize how bad of a person he was. I just kind of was just like, oh, I like justified his being of like making comments like that. I was like, oh, you know, he's like had a hard life. It's fine. Like, you know, I understand what he's thinking here, but like at the end of the day, it's just like, no, he's an awful person.
Yeah, he's always like, yeah, okay, he had it hard. I'm not taking anything away from that. But at the same time, like whatever he experienced in the Capitol was 10 times worse in the districts, if not more. And I know you can't really quantify or qualify pain, but in suffering, you know, but just also the way he describes it, because he's always talking about how like poverty and famine and all of that was just not glamorous. Like it's just like there's this idea of like he has to have his dignity, he has to have his image, he has to have like manners and like, you know, the thing with the handkerchiefs and keeping chaos at bay and stuff. And it's like, I wish that was the worst of my concerns. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And you would think that what he's been through, it would help him to relate to or identify
Like
with.
empathize.
He
Yeah,
does not have
Right.
it.
He does
doesn't
not have
have
Not
it.
empathy.
capable of it.
Yeah.
So he doesn't understand it.
And I think
He's a sociopath.
and I think a large well yeah, I don't want to discredit that he's not like a sociopath, but it didn't help that at this point he's I don't know how old is he, like 18?
Yeah,
And
18.
he's already brainwashed. Like he's had 18 years of
Yeah.
propaganda, brainwash, and experiencing a war that is at the fault in his eyes of the districts. And now he's set up to be reinforced with this idea of the districts being filled with people who are lesser than, not actual like subhuman. And later on in the book, you see like he has opportunities to change that. Like he's had encounters and experiences with people to where like, oh, he could actually change his mind. Like, oh, they actually are humans, but instead combined with his like, psychotic tendencies, it reinforces everything that he's been through and creates now he's like this villain character of where you have like no hope for any good to come from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw the man away. Throw the whole
Somebody say a part that we're at right now because
I'm
I
at
do not
42
know.
where they first start talking.
I'm on the Kindle, so I don't know where we are.
Let's see.
So, welcome to the Capitol.
God.
I just have a question mark next to her dialogue, so
Oh yes, the buttermilk
when
one.
I was yes. Oh,
It tastes
that's
like
Yes.
bedtime.
Classic.
which may or may not be in the movie, but I cannot understand how this would. Like nobody can say this line well. It's very cringy.
Nobody.
Oh, I don't know, guys. I have faith.
Gabby, you
Silence.
All right.
Somebody has to. Somebody
That's
has to have
fine.
faith.
That's fine. Yeah.
I think it'll be
really-
fine.
I
think
really
it'll be
think-
I have
fine.
faith too.
Hope.
I
It's
have
the only
faith.
thing stronger than fear.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's right. There you go.
yeah, but that line's badass. I just can't.
They used to
is.
bathe me in buttermilk and rose petals as badass.
No, the hope is stronger than fear because I'm leaving.
Oh yeah.
Girl, come on. No.
No, but she's like it doesn't make any sense. It's totally chaotic. But like that line, it's like doesn't make any sense. But the fact
It's
that
giving art school.
Like,
no,
she
but
was-
it's also
well, she was picked randomly and thrown in this cargo thing, and she has to like figure out how to like perform. She's on her feet, like trying to own it. She's winging it. She doesn't know what the hell to say.
And that's
like,
the first thing she says?
That's
Yeah,
what
but,
I was
like,
gonna say. I was like, girl.
it's weird that it's the first thing that she says, but I also think that like Taylor and Chase help me here. I think it's this is like the line that's Southern coded. Like it seems like a very Southern thing to say. I don't know how else to explain it. It like Appalachian.
I don't know, man. I don't
Taylor,
hear
those
people
are your
saying that
You're on your
stuff, and
own
I'm in
there.
Tennessee.
It's I'm sorry. Like I mean, when I read it, and like
What
I
was
still
the
read
line?
it.
Sorry, I was
on
multitasking.
page 42.
That's okay. Yeah, 42. When I was little, they used to bathe me in buttermilk and rose petals, and then she says it tastes like home. It's
Yeah, I can see
Tastes
it. I
like
mean,
bedtime.
let's like I said, whenever I read her dialogue,
Taylor,
I
you
it-
read the line.
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah. Read it.
I feel like I don't have that kind of accent though.
Oh, come on,
You
you
do.
do.
no,
Okay.
Taylor, you have an Appalachian accent.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness.
I feel you. But I know that she's like a nomad and like her and her cubby kind of go around, but Lucy Gray is Southern coded. That's all I have to say about that.
No, that I can get behind. I can't get behind it tastes like bedtime. I just can't.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, that's a weird line. I don't like that. We'll see what happens with the
Especially,
movie.
you know what it is too? Especially because in literally every Hunger Games book ever, what's the one thing Suzanne is so incredible at describing? Freaking food and like edible things, like for better or for worse, but she's so good at that. And then it tastes like bedtime. Girl, give me more. Elaborate. What does that mean?
But
Because
also this entire book, she doesn't really describe food at all. Like there's no hunger
There
in these
is
Hunger
none.
Games. Yeah, it's
There you go.
and it's
Yeah,
like
I
where
was
did
gonna
that go?
I was gonna say, like, I feel like the description of the lack of food and how dire things were make it has like, for me, it has like this adverse effect where I start thinking about like, oh man, am I starving right now? You know? And
Yeah.
then and then it tastes like bedtime. Here's this really artsy fartsy conceptual line. Figure it out. No, I'm telling how does that make sense? I need to understand.
she was performing, but
Yeah, she was
it just-
performing.
she didn't know what she was doing. That's
Okay.
when those things happen, you get weird, you know.
Those things
You get weird.
You know, like when those things happen, like who here hasn't been like thrown on a cattle car and thrown into the Hunger Games? I mean, you know. Like,
most
no, I
relatable
get it. Honestly. But like when you are in a very stressful situation like that, I agree. You don't know what you're gonna do. I mean, you're kind of thinking on your toes here.
Hmm.
I want a Lucy Gray perspective book where we get to know her thoughts and why. the
No,
hell
I love that. Give me
think that's
give
cool.
me Midnight Sun, but with ballad.
Yes.
That would
Give
be
it to me.
cool.
Sounds kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
It
I
would
want
be
to know
so
like
good.
what she was thinking and
Well-
like when
well-
her mind changed about choreo or if it did or
Yeah, well, it seems that we know for certain at this point, like she does not trust him, and that the her performing is evidence of her lack of trust towards him.
Yeah.
So it's like a safety protective mechanism.
I agree with that.
we're all just gonna laugh at this scene in the movie.
I can't. I
Listen,
can't.
No, I'm gonna applaud. I'm gonna
Me
stand.
too.
and
Gabby and I are
applaud.
gonna
Thank-
stand up and be like, Lucy
I'd be like,
Gray.
Yes,
Be
thank
like,
you.
Rachel Zegler, give her the Oscar for this
Yes,
scene.
if anyone can pull it off, it's her, and if she does pull it off, she deserves an Oscar.
What if
no,
it's not here?
it is gonna be in there.
What if it doesn't make the cut, Ronnie?
Yeah.
Because it
It's
can be
going-
written.
Then it's a
No.
better film for it. It's fine.
I think that it's a big scene, and I think it's going to make the cut.
Maybe the line won't make the cut.
Maybe
That's what
maybe
I-
the line won't make the
The
cut.
line,
That's
I
true.
was
Who
gonna
knows
say
what
the
It
happens
tastes
in
like
editing.
bedtime won't make it in.
Because
Pray.
you could argue that's a big line, but you know what else was important? The whole story and origin story of the actual Mockingjay pin. And guess what was cut?
The Mockingjay.
I know.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
know.
That's fair.
But maybe
mean,
Francis
that's scary
Lawrence.
to me.
It's been
Come on.
years. It's been
Yeah.
years. Francis Lawrence is like maybe he's like learned from his criticisms, like because that was a very big negative that people talked about, like at least fans did to him. So who knows? He might be staying more on book with this, but at the same time, it's like, how is he going to make this entire book into one movie? I don't know.
Fine.
I think
he's
it's gonna
have
be
to
pretty
cut so
easy.
much.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
split up
there's
into
so
3
much
acts.
like back and
There-
forth
There
in
is,
the
and
first
it's
act here.
very internal, and it's a lot of just like Snow's
Yeah.
internal thoughts. So I mean, Katniss, I would argue the same thing with her. So I trust him. We'll see what happens.
As long
Definitely.
as Enjoy the Show makes it in the cut. I
No,
don't
Yeah.
care.
Which
If Enjoy
from-
the Show becomes the new Mockingjay pin, we're gonna have a problem.
they're gonna make a Mockingjay pin for this. They're gonna sell the book cover pin.
No, but I mean like we needed the original the story of the Mockingjay
It
pin.
gets
and
cut like
now-
it. Yeah.
No, that's true.
It's not gonna happen, but
But I'm saying for marketing, I think that they're gonna release
Well, where
a
is
ballad Mockingjay pin.
well, where's
Where is any of the promotion for this movie?
it? Where is the poster? Like
Where
in that,
is
we already have the logo.
in 2020?
It's so bad. Super
Emily,
Bowl,
did you
Super
see
Bowl,
that?
hopefully.
Emily, did you see that? Like in 2020, there was like a legit keychain of the ballad, for lack of a better word, pin
I saw that.
What?
Yes, I saw
Yeah.
that.
in like Germany. It was like a German bookstagrammer type person who posted like a ballad, like the German ballad and like some stuff. I have it saved somewhere. I'll send it in the group if I find it
Someone
again.
in Germany, hook me up. That's all I'm gonna say.
Lily.
Anyone? I was about to say, Lily, please come through.
Yeah, but it was like really early. I want to say it was in like 2020 or like really early 2021, but it was like I was like, wow, that was fast. And then literally no news about it. And it was not even acknowledged in the caption of the post because I was about to be like, okay, let me do some deep diving. Like, how did this person obtain it? No information.
All right, time to sleuth.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll look for it.
So Snow gets into the truck. I don't know if we want to skip it far,
Oh my
skip that
God.
far ahead. That was so
That sounds
stupid.
good.
I'm just like, what's going on here? Like, stop. It was very strange.
I loved it, but I also I can totally see, like, I can totally picture Tom trying to convince everybody that this was his plan all along, but like
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
somewhat panicking. Like
Mhm.
that I can visualize. But it is silly. All of it is kind of silly.
I mean, like, if I were a tribute, and especially like the 10th Hunger Games where things were a lot more rough, I would have killed him. I would have killed him immediately.
Well, they
Like,
tried.
Yeah,
Well,
they're about
yeah.
to.
They're
but like,
definitely about it.
they should. They had all the opportunities to do it though. Like they should have killed him. I'm sorry. Like it's
Well, what's really interesting is and I kind of think this is where Snow gets his inspiration, is whenever Lucy Gray says, "You got family back home, someone they could
Yes,
punish
that's what I
there."
was
Yeah.
I truly think that's where, like, when Snow experienced that, that is like another
Yeah.
trick in his playbook that he put in for later down the road of how he treats the
Yeah.
tributes.
I had that
Especially-
in my
True.
notes too.
Hmm.
Especially because it's clear he does not view them as people. So like he would certainly not be thinking about like, oh, these people probably have families that they care about. Oh my God. Like it must be
Yeah.
so hard for them. He doesn't have any type of perspective like that for them.
Mhm.
So Gabby, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, if all he's thinking is how to make the games more watchable, and he's trying to think of what is going to be more like the most effective tool to do that,
Mm-hmm.
then that's the lens he's looking through now and then later down the road too.
Definitely.
definitely
He's the worst.
literally.
And then the last line, he was in the monkey house at the zoo.
Yeah, they just dump him there. I mean, we saw from the set photos they're doing that,
Mm-hmm.
which it looks so good. That was one thing that I also could not imagine, but they ended up doing it in a way that I could see it. I'm very excited about that scene.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty cool.
And the whole monkey house thing too, I think is just disturbing and also very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So chapter 4.
Me skipping through my Kindle, dun dun dun, trying to keep up.
Page 48. I think,
Yeah, let's see. I thought this line was funny when he said on page 49, didn't they have jobs? Shouldn't the children be in school? No wonder the
Yes.
country was such a mess.
No,
I had to laugh
literally.
too. It's
I say that all the
hilarious.
time. I say that all the time when I see kids out. I'm like, what the heck? Shouldn't you be in
Shouldn't they be in
school?
And no, literally the other day at work, like I work at a coffee shop and it was very slow. And it's in Midtown where like there's a lot of offices and stuff. And like randomly at like 3:30, we were so busy. And I'm just like, don't you all have jobs?
I'm like, cool.
Like
where
why are you
coming
here?
from?
Like it's very bizarre. So like this is feasible. I guess that he
I also
gets
like
all
when
these
he sees
witnesses.
the "if you didn't see it here, it didn't happen" slogan,
Mhm.
and it's like, oh, it was happening.
Yes.
I need to note, like mentally, that Snow is really funny in the same way Katniss is really funny, which is another
Yes.
parallel.
Yes. I
they're
agree.
so like sassy and like sarcastic. I
Mhm.
don't know. It's amazing, but
It's
Yeah,
just Suzanne, I
which-
guess.
Which
Yes.
that's another trauma coping mechanism is through like sarcastic humor.
Mm.
And so it actually
Well,
tracks like psychologically
dang.
that
Yes.
their
it's
characters are
everything
like
I
that.
do with
Call me
trauma
out.
response.
No, literally. Well, it's like on page 48. I mean, even he's like, oh gosh, imagine how delicious that the footage would be for Capital News. They'd play it in nauseum or ad nauseum. The silly music and captions. Snow's meltdown. Make it part of the weather report. Too hot for snow. They're like that's. He's very sarcastic and like kind of self-deprecating.
Mhm.
Which also when he's like silly music and captions, I'm like, oh my gosh, memes, like capital memes.
Yeah. No,
That's so
there's one of those there's a Hunger Games fan video from like, oh god, I don't know if it was part of like the Mockingjay Part 1 campaign or not on YouTube, but it was about like doing some sort of like sewing lesson, but they had like a lot of captions and stuff like that. Like it was very like aggressive with how they presented it. I'm gonna have to find it and send it to y'all, but it was very much that, which I was impressed with when I read this. It's like, oh, Suzanne's keeping her theme of just making everything very overwhelming all at once because people have short attention spans, which I think is kind of valid.
yeah. Everything everywhere all at once.
Literally.
Yeah, oof. Oh, don't get me started.
She has so much to say. Like, it's absolutely brilliant. I love her.
So I don't like
I don't
Snow
know.
and Lucy Gray's like initial conversation, but I like
Yeah.
this moment with the two of them here as they realize that they can work together and that they're both kind of perfect for each other, like perfect
Survive.
mates,
Yeah.
and that they're both really good at like playing up this part and like putting on a show for the audience.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yeah,
know, I,
like,
just, I like it.
on
She goes,
58.
like, own it.
Yeah. Well, she was like, she's on, or he says, she's on stage. You're on stage. This is the show. Like,
Yeah.
it's very
They're saying
performative.
my left side is better. Like, I don't know. them
Yes.
just, like,
Yeah.
communicating and like working it out to make it the best.
Mhm.
I
Yeah, I
don't know
think
if
it's
it's because I've been watching Survivor a lot recently, but like this scene, I just was like, this is them two saying, I'll take you to the final two. You know, like
yeah, I see what you
Yes.
mean. Yeah, they're establishing that relationship.
Yeah.
But it reminds me, like on page 50 when Lucy's saying, or maybe no, it's Choreo's thoughts. She's on stage, you're on stage, this is the show. It reminds me so much of Haymitch and Peta's dynamic. Of
Mhm.
and
Yes.
Haymitch trying to get in Katniss's head, like this is what the audience wants, and her just kind of like having a hard time figuring that out. But Peta, he's like, I got you, I see you, and jumps right on it.
I agree, but that's what's hardest for me to like. I guess real like I don't want to say realize. Imagine in the movie like those kind of subtleties of it, because I think in the original 4 movies, the performance aspect of it, like in the first movie and the second movie, I don't think it was very clear.
Yeah, I was really lost.
Yeah, and so that's what a lot of this book relies on, I think. So I just don't know how that's going. I just don't know how it's gonna go in the
The
movie.
acting's
I'm
just
a
gonna
lot
have to
just,
be good.
which I'm just like I don't know. I don't know. I don't
Well,
think it will
Francis
be.
didn't do
We'll
the
see.
first movie, so
That's true
That's
too.
very true.
Yeah.
But like even the rest of the trilogy, though, or I guess 4 movies, it just was kind of lost the whole like understated performance aspect of the Hunger Games. I mean, I guess with
No, they
Katniss
redeem
filming
it
her
in
propaganda, yeah, with Katniss and her propaganda, but this is a lot more subtle than that.
yeah.
Like, I mean, it took me until the second read through to realize that, like, well, I guess like after the end of the first time me reading it, I was like, oh, she was performing and he was performing, and like they're not really meant for each other because of that. And when I reread it again, I read it in the guise of they're all performing and they don't believe what they're saying necessarily. Like they're just trying to get like they're trying to get something from each other.
Hmm.
It's very interesting to me. So like I don't know how they can convey that in the movie, but we'll see.
Yeah, I feel like there has to be a lot of like little subtle looks between
Yeah,
them.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll keep something like that in.
which I don't know. I don't know if the actress can do it, but we'll see. We'll see.
I think they could do it. I think so, especially since she wrote this book with like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, like she had in mind.
It was
Like
very
she's using
deliberate.
her like playwright skills and abilities in
And
this
she knew that
book.
this was going to be a movie too.
Yeah,
like-
so I really think she's got it. Like I think she has a vision for it.
It's like, Francis, please put out the 3-hour cut. Just do the 3 hours. I know you don't want to do
Fine.
3 hours, but we want the 3 hours. 1 hour for Act 1, 1 hour for Act 2, and 1 hour for Act 3. Like, just give it to us.
I always go back to this because I just think it's so like whatever. I if it has like the same pacing as like the Batman, it would be so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was a
Oh,
3-hour long movie and it was long, but it didn't feel like too long. Like it felt
Yeah.
like the flow
Yeah.
is very natural.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Ballad is because the book is like that. Like even just the experience of reading the book, it's like I wouldn't call it like a slow burn necessarily, but it's I mean kind of though, you know, like
yeah.
for a good portion of the book when I read it the first time, I was like, where is this going? Like I had absolutely no, and I thought going into it, like having read all the previous books and whatever, I'd have some sense where I'd be able to kind of not predict things, but at least kind of get a sense of what was, you know, the point. And I just did not know anything ever at any point. And it was quite literally until like the last chapter that I was like, okay, now I got it. You know?
No, same. It's a very unpredictable book.
And so I feel like, yeah, Francis saying that he doesn't want it to be 3 hours is like, I get that he wants to appease, I guess, the majority of moviegoers, and most people don't like long movies like that, which I don't understand. But I know that that's a thing. But I'm like, just make it 3 hours. It's fine. Just do it.
I mean, they got nothing to lose at this point because I know this sounds really bad, but I do not think this is going to make a lot of money in theaters.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So
Yeah.
just like go for it. Just go for it. I feel like
And
it'd see more prestige if it was 3 hours long.
And if Avatar can be 3 hours and Avatar 3 has a director or a first cut of 9 hours, and I'm sorry,
Oh my
but
God.
you know, Avatar is not for the plot. Nobody watches that for the plot. It's the special effects, you know? And I just, anyway, sorry. I'll go off if I keep going, so I'm just gonna leave it at that.
No, I'm just like 9-hour cut. What?
That's a first cut, yeah. And I'm like, well,
Oh my
just
gosh.
I mean, yeah, I don't know exactly how they are doing that. I'm like, are y'all just filming all of it continuously?
Yeah,
and
that's probably
making
like the
cuts?
sequel and the third one and part
Yeah.
of the fourth one. But
But like also I would watch that cut of the Hunger Games, like any of them, any of the
Mhm.
books.
Same.
This is why like I'm so advocating for like an HBO Max like series where they can just like go all out and like show the gore and stuff like that. Like
Love
so
that.
good. High budget Game of Thrones style. Amazing.
no,
I would cry. I would love it. That's my dream thing. I
no.
hope that
Who
they do
said
it as-
no? Gabby?
Me.
Why?
I have a thing with the ethics of certain like stuff and things. I'm being very vague because I feel like if I just go into it, it's like conspiracy theory land that I live in, and I just can't do that. So it's fine. Carry on.
But we need something like that for this. I mean,
Yeah,
especially
I need
with
a miniseries.
I need
I'd
a
be down for a
miniseries so
limited
badly.
series for sure.
I think it'd be so good. Who knows? I mean, they're talking about rebooting Harry Potter, which like
They
Oh
do
my
that
God.
every
They
year.
need
really
to stop
yeah,
doing that.
yeah, they just need to not do that anymore. It's not popping, unfortunately. But the Hunger Games, I think, still has an audience, as seen on the TikTok revival, especially. there's something here. They just have not been doing well with marketing.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lucy Gray, what's she doing?
Interacting with
What
this
you doing,
little
girl?
kid.
Yeah, more manipulation. Yeah.
How do you say his name?
Onius?
They say
Pontius?
like, doesn't Santino say like Pontius or something like that?
yeah.
Yeah,
this is
it's Pontius. Yeah,
And
it's Pontius.
Venus.
Pontius and Venus.
But like, who knows how these names are pronounced? Honestly, they're all absolutely insane.
Yeah,
I just love Lucy Gray interacting with the children. It's so wholesome.
It's very cute.
it
That
was pretty
was
wholesome. Yeah.
that was the part where I was like, okay, I
And
can
she
vibe
says,
with
like,
you to an extent.
Polka dots make me happy or something like that.
Yeah.
Cute.
I want to
Yeah.
see Lucy Gray's Pinterest boards. Like I would be so
Stop.
I think it's really interesting this dynamic between like what Snow. Oh no, I lost my place. What Snow says about how easily people are manipulated when it came to their children, and then we'll see later in the chapter of like him reflecting on actually people don't really value their children in the capital. And like there's and then even we see it in like the Hunger Games. They're all kids. Like it's this weird like tension of they do value their children and that they don't want to lose them to the Hunger Games. That's why the Hunger Games is effective because they are scared. But yeah,
Yeah.
at the same time, they like treat their children like crap. And so it's like, yeah,
It's like what Snow says in at least the movie of Mockingjay Part 2. I don't know if he says this in the book, but he's like, you don't know, you know that I'm not above killing children.
Mhm.
that's
It's
right.
like,
Yeah.
I love that he even says that.
I know, it's so bizarre.
It's so like funny, but it's also so like cartoon villain.
Yes,
like-
it is.
It's like it's my plan to take over the world. Like to me, it's like in that same category of like villain, like catchphrase, like or I don't know, some like Cartoon Network villain.
I think it's interesting. I'm on page 53, but I think it's interesting that Lucy's trying to distance herself from the districts and saying that she's from no district in particular. Not just specifically in District 12, but just from like any district at all. I just think
What
that's
if
that's an interesting tell of her character, you know.
What if she was lying? Like,
Oh,
what if the
I mean, I wouldn't be
what-
surprised.
What if they were just like, we're just kind of keeping it up? She was actually from District 12 and the cover's from District 12. I don't know. Being a
Or a different
conspiracy theorist
district
here.
or something.
Yeah. Like,
Honestly, that's a pretty smart lie then.
it is.
So,
I
yeah.
could see her doing that though, because like I don't trust her. I don't trust her at all.
Yeah. Well,
If
I
it
mean,
weren't
like,
for the baby, but it's like, but if it weren't
Yes, honestly,
for the
it's like,
district,
but it went for the
Right.
districts. Like, it's literally.
Her being like PETA again.
I don't know if I
Mm.
trust her very much.
well, she's out here trying to survive. Like she's
Yeah,
This
I
is
think
Exactly.
she's trying to get the
trying to-
capital people on her side.
yeah, this is
Yeah.
she's trying to make fans out here, and she's more likely to have fans if she's entertaining and not so much as like part of the district people.
Which is
you know,
also a strategy that like PETA implements when he's like waving out the train, like at the
Mhm.
Capitol.
Immediately.
He puts on a show, and then Katniss is just like, "What the heck
What?
is this guy doing?" Like, so
But
stupid.
yet- but yeah,
But-
with PETA, we're like, oh, he's so smart, like we understand it. But with Lucy here, we're all like, this is so weird. Like, why is she doing this? But it's the same thing.
yeah,
She
but, like,
talks weird. I don't know.
it's because she's Southern. Don't make fun of our speech patterns.
and it's also because even though this is not a first person narration, it's like an omniscient narrator, but not actually fully omniscient because he knows Snow's thoughts, but he doesn't know Lucy Gray's. It's kind of weird. But yeah, it's like Lucy Gray is still mysterious to us as the reader, even though like we have more insight into what Snow's thinking and where he's coming from and stuff, but it's still, yeah, I don't know.
Which is why we need a Lucy Gray book. We need it. We need it.
I
so
don't know that I
badly.
can put up with that though. I was thinking about that, and I'm like, if she thinks in riddles like that, I don't know that I can.
No.
There's no way she does. Come on
Yeah,
now.
there's no way. I agree with that. She does
I
not.
don't think so.
Yeah.
I think she just puts on her little riddles, just like be part of the show, like she's just showing.
Yeah,
But
I don't know, man.
Oh, she
Met some
definitely is.
people
Come
at
on.
art school, showing up to class barefoot and stuff. I don't know.
Oh my god.
I
she
don't
would.
know.
No.
She is the type to show barefoot to class.
No, but come on. She's trying to survive. She's trying to win. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not negating that. I'm just saying she could be out here trying to survive and be weird. You know, it's not mutually exclusive.
you make a point, but I don't know. Her character, how she acts in 12 is a little bit less
It's
weird,
different.
in my opinion. It's different.
It's totally
so,
different.
Yeah.
It's totally
Yeah.
different.
I
We'll
agree
get
with-
to that.
I'm just cynical and jaded. And
That's all right.
Loud, you know.
We gotta have one, you know? We gotta have
Listen,
one.
we've been through a pandemic. It's fine. Any behavior is excusable at this point. So Coriolanus is trapped in the zoo.
It's hard out here for a snow.
Oh,
But if she's brave enough to be here, shouldn't I be?
Oh,
Oh
God.
my God. Get
never
out
told
of
my
here.
I hate him.
I can't wait to see that.
I'm like,
I
you know
love
who's
to hate him.
your freaking cousin who sold her body to feed you?
Yeah. Which, can we comment, like, to backtrack on how it was Tigress's idea to, it was her thoughts of, like, trying to humanize Lucy that got
Yeah.
him to humanize her in the first, just like just a drop
Yeah.
of humanity for him to even show up at the train car. But even then, he uses it for his own personal gain. But it was all because of Tigress. It was her idea.
Yes. It's
She's
just
the main
like,
character.
yes.
So underrated.
God damn it. We need a Tigress book.
Yeah,
That's
we
what I
do.
want.
We do.
Yeah, we
do.
do.
Brave.
Snow is so unlikable. I just want to punch him the entire time.
Mhm.
But he's so funny.
I think he's super
Sorry.
He's very-
likable, actually. But
It's like you know, this is also like it exists in a meme format, but it's like, oh no, the worst person you know just made a great point. That's kind of how I
Yes.
feel about Snow. Not that I ever think he's ever made a great point in his life, but like, you know, he says something funny or he does something unfortunately smart, and I'm like, damn it.
That is funny.
Like he, you know, does manage to talk his way out of like everything, and like always knows what to say, and then he's aware of what tone he has to say it in, like the inflection he uses, like all of that. And I
Mhm.
keep praying for his downfall and for him to slip up, even though I know it's not going to happen, but I'm always like rooting against him. And then he pulls something out from behind him, and you know, it always impresses me, and I'm upset about that.
Interesting.
So where are we at?
I'm trying to figure that out.
Who knows
Okay,
at this
let's
point?
see. I'm on page 54. Let's see.
It's on 55.
55. Yeah, more of his internal
I was about to
dialogue.
say, like, the more I want to punch him in, 56 and 57 are just like the districts and the tributes, which listening to that in audiobook form was just torture. I skipped over that every single time.
Yeah.
I was so annoyed. I was like, okay, you don't have
Wait.
to read all of this. I'm sorry. Like, it's so bothersome to me.
Is this where he's like, oh, and my name appears at last at the bottom? What an
Ye-
embarrassment. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my
Mhm.
god.
I love that.
But also, you're hilarious. Keep going.
Dangling there at the end like an afterthought.
Oh my god.
Oh,
That
the
always makes me
drama.
think- That always makes me think of The Office when Dwight says, "Come along, afterthought."
No, literally. And then we get Dr. Gall at the end of
Hippity
57.
hoppity. If we want to talk about,
I
a
cannot.
ridiculous line,
Yeah,
you
Yeah,
have
that's
to bring
so-
this
Yeah,
up.
I
Hippity
hate that.
hoppity. What
I hate
is
I
that?
cannot
So much.
imagine Viola Davis doing that. I hope
Absolutely.
they
She
cut
she
it.
will
So dumb.
she will say no. Viola Davis will say no.
But I'm gonna be
That's my
honest,
plan.
Santino in
Miss
the
EGOT is
audiobook.
gonna say no.
Santino in the audiobook though did I think it was like a pretty okay job with it.
Yeah.
Like
It's
No.
alright.
He
hippity,
made it kind
he's
of
like
creepy.
he was like
get
hippity
out of here,
hoppity.
Ronnie.
Like
Get out of here, Ronnie.
It was kind of, it was very dark sounding.
Mm-hmm.
He makes it sound creepy, but at the same time, is it like, does the creepy outweigh the ridiculous? To me, no. To me, it still rings as silly and goofy. Again, like a cartoon villain. Like,
yeah, that's
It's
another
very-
reason why I'm worried about this movie because Dr. Gall is so cartoony. She's camp,
she
but
makes
like
me think of like a Dexter's Lab villain, you know? Like,
yes.
Oh, no.
Wait, did y'all watch My Life as a Teenage Robot? This is like
Yes.
so her mother with like the gray spiky hair, that was what I imagined Dr. Gall looking like. Unfortunately, when I read the book originally.
Also,
I could
that
see
line
that.
of. Oh, sorry.
I just said I could definitely see that.
Oh. Also, the line about like, do you guys have any pets you're tired of? Oh my god.
Hysterical though. That's so funny. But like it's
No.
it's so ridiculous. Like it's like I've said before, it's camp. She's a camp character. She's over the top. But I mean, I don't even know. Judging based on like the set photo that we saw of her, or like potentially her, we don't know. She's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a big character.
She
I'm
will
very
be
excited.
the mastermind. The
Yeah.
mastermind. Yeah.
I think it's interesting. She makes a comment to. Oh wait, no. Is the demerit conversation? That's when this happens, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's with
That's, the
um,
end of the chapter.
yeah.
Okay. Because she talks about how like he has potential for being a game maker and how he should like he has the instincts or whatever. And to me, I'm like, you mean you can suss out a psychopath because you're a psychopath? Like that's the instinct you're talking about,
Yes.
not some like grand like noble, humanitarian like
Maybe when she asked the
Okay.
question about the pets, he's like the only one who didn't cringe or something.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, I
It's
mean, I think it's because he's tracking her logic and like
Mhm.
and she sees like if someone can understand what she's thinking without her having to communicate that to them, then that's a sign of
That they're
a mastermind in the making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that they
Yeah,
should be
he knows what
incarcerated.
she wants and how he should respond around her. And yeah, I think she can sense that, see that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
But
when
it's
you
like-
go on to like 54, he like is starting to question like her methods and like all of that. You get kind of more of like a deep dive on Dr. Gall during this, even though he's just asking questions. I feel like he's kind of right in a lot of circumstances here.
It's weird because he doesn't. It's not like he's out here like fully agreeing with everything like that she says.
He's
and that
not.
he is like creeped out by her too, which is saying something. But it's not enough for him to be like, "This is outrageous. This woman's crazy." Like
Right.
he's just like,
Yeah.
she's kind of wacky, but I guess she's right. Like
Yeah,
what?
he's learning to adopt her philosophy and perspective of the games and of humanity in order for him to succeed in that framework. Like
Yeah.
in order for him to succeed and be successful, he has to learn their framework and adopt it and like function within it. He can't buck up against it like Sejanus like
Mhm.
attempts
God.
or
Yeah.
poorly tries to, or at least he thinks he tries to, but
But I mean, there are times where like Corio kind of agrees with Sejanus, where he's just like, well, yeah, Sejanus has a point. and like, yeah,
He's
this
like-
is awful that we're doing this, but I'm selfish. Like it's
He's always like, he agrees with Sejanus, but he's like, man, you gotta shut up though. Like,
yeah, honestly, it's
Oh
so
my God,
messed up.
It's interesting on page 58, something that I had noted the last time I read through this was him being upset about Boa Bell, like potentially being in the lab. And I put, does he have a heart
Yeah.
question mark? But then reading it this time, I realized that right before that, he's talking about how Boa Bell, like the cat, was comforting to him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The line right before. So it's only because the cat like provided him with something, some sort
That's
of
a
service
great
that
That's a great
he
point.
right immediately after that is like, oh, that would make me kind of sad if he was gone or something happened to him.
I didn't
Yeah.
notice that. That's so
That's a
good.
very good
I'm
point.
trying to like pick up on that every time, like my previous notes about wondering if he had some sort of empathy or emotion.
never, not
He
even
Right,
one
like a-
time.
His psychopathic tendencies,
Tennessee's.
tendencies,
Psychopathic Tennessee.
yeah, there you go. They definitely start showing in very subtle ways, and it's exactly how you described it, Emily. It's because like it was first, it did something to him, and therefore that's how he has any type of emotion towards it.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's like the challenge or the thing to keep in mind when you're reading this book and you're trying to figure out like if there ever is a moment, a person, a thing, like literally anything that could suggest that Snow has more empathy. Literally just be like, well, what's in it for Snow for caring about this thing? And if the first thing isn't just like, it's just like a decent thing to do, then there you go. You got your answer.
Right.
Yeah. Then he meets with Jean Highbottom.
Dun, dun, dun.
Such a good scene. I love this scene so much.
Mhm.
Especially having read it already
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
knowing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
This
how-
is a
and,
man
like-
who is like full of resentment, but also like guilt, and he takes it.
Yes.
Oh, and it's so good.
Mm-hmm. And it
Peter
makes
Dinklage
sense.
is gonna
It makes
crush.
so much sense why
Mhm.
he, having read all the way through it, it makes sense why he already is kind of like disagreeing, like in bottom page 59, does he, or is he just showboating for a better grade? What do you think the purpose of the Hunger Games is?
Mhm.
He's already trying to disagree with Dr. Gall that
Yeah.
we don't need an audience for the Hunger Games, just let the Hunger Games die out. And that doesn't make any sense for this character to be in conflict with Dr. Gall unless, the events that happen. Because
Mhm.
it would make sense for him to adopt the same philosophy that Dr. Gall has.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Peter
This
Dinklage is gonna
is
crush this
such a
role.
good book.
I'm
Ugh.
so excited.
Me too.
I just love the dialogue at the top of page 50 that comes from the film, like that scene with
Mhm.
Snow and Seneca. I just love that Suzanne took parts, like the good parts of the movie, and like incorporated that into this.
Yeah.
I'm honestly really ready because I feel like it's going to happen for Highbottom to become one of my favorite characters in the way that Haymitch has. Like, when I first read the books, like the first time 10 years ago, I liked Haymitch, but it was like whatever. Like, I was kind of like a neutral feeling about it. And then I would say, like, when I saw the movies and it like fleshed him out a little bit more, I was like, this is low-key the best character. And Highbottom is so interesting to me. And I feel like it's going to happen. They're also kind of similar, they're both self-medicating, racked with feelings of like guilt and regret and stuff, and in a leadership type position, whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah. I cannot wait. I just know that like the on-screen chemistry between Peter Dinklage and Tom is going to be so good.
Yeah.
Same.
Mm-hmm. At the bottom of page 60, I think is, I didn't notice this before in my first reading, but he's Dean Highbottom talking to Dr. Gall. You see, it's a failed experiment. She says, it is if no one watches. So that implies that the experiment itself isn't necessarily the tributes in the Hunger Games,
Yeah.
but it's the capital audience. And
Yeah.
it's how to like captivate people, entertain them, and in that way hold on to power, influence it, manipulate it for war, money, whatever it is. I didn't catch that beforehand, but I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah, it's a really key distinction.
I thought this was page 50. Y'all, these page numbers are really hard to read sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's the
It
font.
looks
It's
like
the
a
font.
50.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It totally
60.
does. I
When
knew
I'm on
whenever
the
you said
Kindle
50, I knew
version,
you
it's
meant
65.
60.
I feel like I'm on Catching Fire all over again. Not knowing the page.
Sorry, Holly.
Do we want to move on to page 61 where he gets the demerit?
Let's do
Dun,
it.
dun, dun.
Let's get crazy.
3 such demerits and you'll be expelled. I'm like, is that really a chapter ending? That's not that
like that
good.
Hermione
Yeah,
line.
honestly, it seems like just a high school drama or something. It's like Riverdale or something. I don't even know. It's
Not to
That's
make
so true.
not to make another like Office reference, but when like Jim's making fun of Dwight and his like
Yes.
troop buck,
That's what I was thinking.
and he's like, and you'll receive a full desadulation. Dwight's like, what is that? He's like, you don't want to know. And I
Oh,
feel like
that's really good.
this is that.
The first line of chapter 5 doesn't help either. I mean,
oh wait.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it does not.
Yeah, I
an
know.
official reprimand. What?
Yeah, it's
But
supposed to
we'll-
like, it's supposed to convey like the anxiety that Snow gets from talking to Dean Highbottom and how it's
Mhm.
always just so like cruddy, like the interactions that he gets with them. And it can be a point of sympathy for this character, but the line itself just, I mean, it's not all that great.
It's not it.
It kind of fails at it, but I
Mhm.
can see what it's trying to do. It just doesn't do it.
Yeah, fell short.
Mm-hmm.
I really wish it said desadulation.
Stop.
Yeah.
So that was chapters 3 and 4.
Woo!
Over an hour
Yay.
later. I just think I think it's nice that we all have like something to say about these, because like I haven't really talked about this book with a lot of people, because nobody else has seemed to have read it, so it's good to like have a little discussion about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys all know my bias, so I have plenty to say about it.
We love.
We love ballad here.
We do.
Well, anything else for tonight? Any final thoughts? All right. Well,
No.
I'm hopeful that we're going to get
Trailer.
a trailer this weekend and come back next week and have a full discussion. If that happens, we'll have an emergency tribute talk.
Have to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll hit the emergency meeting button.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what happens whenever this trailer comes out. We're gonna have an emergency meeting.
Oh
Mm.
my god.
Be ready at any moment.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
Be ready.
Any
So be-
day, any hour.
Yeah,
have
be
your
on the
phone
lookout on
at-
Instagram.
Yeah, seriously.
But
Or
not
like
if it's
on-
at like 5 a.m. Because I
No,
like
even
not like the first
no,
look.
even,
No.
no, even if it was at 5 a.m. Like that.
Or
Right.
somebody is gonna have to wake me up. I don't know.
I will be awake because like when that 5 a.m. one posted, I was opening at work.
Yeah.
And I was washing my face in the bathroom and like just saw that Rachel posted it. She was the first one that did it, and I was like, "It's too early for this. Like, it's way
Ronnie,
too
you
early
have
for
to
this."
alert
Okay,
us
well, somebody needs
all.
to call me next time.
I will alert. I will sound the
Mhm.
alarms. I will I don't even know. I will go to lengths to wake y'all up for this.
We'll just make a train of like a phone call. Like AJ calls me, I call Emily,
Yeah.
Emily calls
Yes.
Lighting the fires on the top of the hill.
Yes.
Bro, when that 5 a.m. thing happened, I literally never wake up before 11 a.m. ever. And so I saw that as it was posted because I happened to get up because I needed water like really bad. And I think my body just like knew, and it was like, AJ, it's time. Like it was just like
No, same. I woke up right
Five
before
senses.
my alarm. I woke up before my alarm came out, like went off. It was like 20 minutes before my alarm went off. And I just like woke up and I was like, well, I may as well just like get started with my day because I have to leave
yeah.
soon. And I went on Twitter and like she posted that. I was like, what? Like she just posted it. It was my body knew as well. I have a Hunger Games detector. AJ and I both have. Yes.
Yeah.
A Hunger Games Sixth Sense.
The only
Mm.
thing that I'm worried about now is that something's gonna happen when I'm in a flight, like for work, you know, and then you guys are gonna be calling and calling and calling, but my phone
gosh.
will be on airplane.
Listen, I will find a way to get to that plane and tell you.
The pilot makes an announcement. Excuse me. ladies and
Yes.
The trailer for the Hunger Games has officially dropped. Therefore, we're going to emergency land so that I can watch it.
Tina has a final thought that Tom is scary.
Tina,
Tom
get
is
out.
very scary. Tom can I
He's
think Tom
very
is
intense.
I see what you're.
In
I
a
don't know.
good way.
He's an
Yeah.
intense guy.
I don't think Tina means in a good way.
No. Probably not.
Well, thanks for your final thought tonight, Tina, and thank you for everyone who joined us tonight. Yeah, I guess that's it. If anyone has any other thoughts other than Tom is scary. Not in
Just
a good
leave
way.
him with
Nope.
that.
She said, yeah.
Okay. Well, good night, everyone.